If I had to describe to you pure, unadulterated fun in 2 words, I would use the words Marvel's Spider-Man. Don't forget the hyphen, it's important. On top of the game's fantastic story, in my opinion, the game gives you a massive amount of content to do, in both the main game and its DLC, The City That Never Sleeps. The amount of content this game gives you would look like a challenge to a normal person. However, the game has many ways of making going through that content extremely fun. For instance, the map size. That would seem impossible to explore every nook and cranny of it. With web swinging mechanics and other traversal methods, that task becomes easy as pie, and often the preferred method to gain around than to, say, fast travel everywhere. One of the game's achievements is to fast travel 5 times. That should tell you how much confidence they have in this web swinging mechanics, that people are going to want to web swing more than they are going to want to fast travel. And not only that, combat in the game is extremely fun and fluid. So fighting people doesn't feel like a chore, and not only that, it doesn't drag out for 5 minutes. You're going to be fighting bad guys for maybe like 50, 60 seconds, depending on your setup and how well you got everything working in your like suit and all the equipment that you have and all the gadgets that you have. That's going to make combat go like this. Yeah, you heard that right. Fast as a snap. And not only that, let's not forget how alive this world feels, especially with good old J. Jonah Jameson's words of wisdom, who makes the game never seem quiet. The game and the DLC share these things in common. Story missions, side missions. Missions depend on which part of the game you're playing. Relay towers, which makes more of the map visible. Backpacks, collectibles that give you background on more of the game's world. Landmarks, which basically are just, again, landmarks. You take pictures of them and go, ooh, pretty. And the main game and the DLC come in 3 parts that have each of their own individual content unique to that story. The main game has 4 Taskmaster challenges in the forms of stealth, bomb, drone, and combat. Bases, which are basically hideouts for the groups of Fisk, Demon, Prisoner, and Sable. Research stations, which have their own unique specific way of doing a specific tasks. And Black Cat stakeouts, which are basically Where's Waldo, but with cat plushies. And on top of that all, pigeon catching. Boy, isn't that fun. The DLC has Screwball challenges, which are basically Taskmaster challenges, but with a point system that makes some challenges very, very annoying. I'm looking at you, Stealth. And on top of that, each of the DLCs share 2 challenges, Combat and Gadget. They're going to be the same as the main game, but with a point system. But each part has its own unique challenge. Part 1, named The Heist, has EMP challenges. Part 2, named Turf Wars, has stealth challenges. Part 3, finally, The Silver Lining, has bomb challenges. Parts 2 and 3 have bases again, but they're named differently, and Part 2 has Hammerhead Forts, while Part 3 has Olympus Hideout. Parts 1 and 3 have collectibles that you can use to add to the DLC story. Part 1 has Hardy's Stolen Art, and Part 2 has crime scenes recordings. There are some content that I did not go over, like the gadgets, the suits, the suit abilities, and the suit mods, which are basically unlockables that you get by getting tokens, by completing bases and challenges. Those 2, the better you do in those 2, the more tokens you get, along with backpack tokens. Then there are secret landmarks, which are hidden landmarks you can only find if you have a certain suit ability equipped. Overall, Marvel Spider-Man is a fantastic game that I would suggest for anyone to pick up, be it for the story, or just having fun swinging around like an idiot and exploring the ever-loving Christ out of the game. Even though the game is a version exclusive, I would add this to the reason to buy a PlayStation console if you've been on the fence about it for a while.